Hello YouTube world, my name is Monica Liana and this is Books and Beauty, where I talk about books while doing my makeup. So I kind of started to do my makeup and my dogs went berserk because trash people went by, but I didn't really get far, so I was like, I'll just start from the beginning because right in the middle of it was a lot of tweenies having a heart attack because somebody came to the door. Dogs. Anyways, so I'm gonna do my February wrap up, and the reason I'm doing it now, even though it's not technically the end of February, is I'm not about to do anything new. So it's kind of like I might as well just do it now. I have the time, so I'm just gonna do it now. So let's do this. So we're gonna start with If I Disappear by Lisa Jane Brazier. This one I did a mini review, so if you really want to know like my real thoughts, you can watch that. But anyways, this is a 3 in my opinion because it is not what it said it was going to be. It said it was, from what it seemed like, this was going to be a podcast. This is not a podcast. There's a podcast lady that the main character is trying to like find, but there's not an actual podcast. Nobody is likable in this book, which is not really a big deal in my opinion, but I'm just saying, nobody's likable. The person that we're following / rooting for, I don't even think technically we should be rooting for because, sorry, I had to go get my sponge. But we shouldn't be rooting for because she has a very uncomfortable parasocial relationship with this lady she has never met. Like, she really thinks that she's gonna solve this crime that nobody even believes there is a crime. They're like, yo, she just left. And this one lady that has never met her is determined to find out where she went to because she's like, no, she's either dead or she's like trapped somewhere. So she goes to her family farm on, well, it's a ranch technically, family ranch under false pretense to work there, but yet she's just trying to snoop around to find this girl. And weird things start to happen. Everybody's sus. Like, literally, you can't trust nobody in this book. And it just kind of goes from there. And like I said, it's not, I wouldn't say this book is bad. It just wasn't what I was hoping for. It kind of went down in an area that I wasn't expecting, which I feel like just threw me off, honestly. But that may have been my fault, but I don't know. Just, I didn't like kind of the direction it ended up, definitely the tone that it took. Like, I didn't like the fact of like, there was a lot of gender hate. Like, it was always like, well, you don't know what it feels like to be a female, and females are this. And it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. But anyways, the next one is The Project by Courtney Summers. This one was a 2, which I am slightly disappointed because I was so excited for this one because of the fact that it follows a cult. So 2 sisters, one sister got into an accident with her parents when she was a kid, which made her parents die. She survived. She went to go live with, like, I guess her aunt, and her other sister was old enough, and she some reason got involved with a religious cult, which then made it where the one sister that got into the accident hasn't seen her in years. Like, she hasn't seen her. She knows that she's with this cult, but that's about it. She's never seen her since then. She's like, why would she leave me? I'm like, the only family she has and stuff like that. And she now works for a newspaper company. She's not really a journalist. She's an assistant, but she tries to be like, well, I'll do this story and then you'll make me a journalist and everything like that. And she tries to investigate the project, which is what they're called. It's called The Project. And she tries to do it because she's trying to find her sister. And everybody knows who she is. They don't let her like get too far in. And there's like rumors that bad things are happening, but nobody's saying anything. And like, for some reason, she's like a chosen one. Like, people know about her and stuff like that. And it's really weird at first. You're kind of like, what the hell? Like, they explain why she, like, everybody knows about her and stuff. But I didn't like this book mainly because of the main character is stupid. Like, I know that's like really mean, but that main character is absolutely stupid. Okay, rant, spoiler, little section. Rant, spoiler right now. So about, I don't know, close to the end, she gets with the cult leader. She gets into a relationship with this dude. Why? She knows that this guy is a bad guy. She knows that this is the reason her sister has kind of disappeared. Like, she hasn't been able to talk to her because this guy like keeps her from her. But yet, because supposedly she was a miracle, because he was there when I guess she was in an accident and she died, but he brought her to life, back to life or something like that. I don't think they explained that part. I'm like, was he a paramedic? Like, what was he doing there? Anyways, because he was the guy's miracle, and this is why they all think he's holy. She's like, oh my God, I didn't know you were there. You did bring me back to life. You must be the chosen one. And she gets into a relationship with this dude. What? I don't understand. You have made it like this guy is a bad guy. You know he's a bad guy. Yet you're now like, yeah, he's a good guy. I'll take him for his word. I still don't see my sister, but you know what? You're a great guy. I'm going to sleep with you. I was so mad because I was just like, I don't understand. Like, and then things started coming out that there was bad things happening with the cult. And she was like, nuh-uh, I've never seen that. Like, that's a lie. And it's like, you were saying the same thing. And now you're like, because you boned the cult leader, you're like, nah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Like, these are all lies. It's like, what the? I was so mad. I was so confused. I was like, that makes absolutely no sense. So that's my little rant with that one, because I don't know, they had a conflict. I'm like, why did she need to bone the cult leader? Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is I guess a YA thriller. And this one was really good. This one is kind of like a podcast. They had a whole crew because I listened to this one on audio. And this one had like phone interviews. She talks to other people. There was a big old cast with this one. And basically what happens is she decides to investigate this case for her school project, because she doesn't believe who they pinned the murder on is the right person. She's like, nah, he couldn't have done it, because he supposedly killed himself too. So it's like they're both, the person that he allegedly murdered, which is some girl, and him are both dead. So it's not like they can use them to ask questions. But she goes around asking other people questions, like friends, the police, like a drug dealer that she ends up finding, trying to get answers on like who actually killed her and what actually happened to him, because she gets with the brother of the guy, and they pretty much assume like he didn't kill himself. He couldn't have killed himself. Like, he wouldn't have done that. So like they're trying to figure out who killed her, and then in return who killed him. And it was really good. Like, it was done in a really great way. And there's a second book that's coming out on Audible, I think in like 8 days or something like that. And I've already got it pre-ordered. So I'll let you know if that one's any good, because sometimes sequels are not the best. So I'm like, I am very curious, because I guess the girl that like solved this case, she now owns a podcast, a crime podcast. I don't really know where it's gonna go from there. I didn't read much about it, but it was just, she has now a crime podcast, which I'm like, cool, I like it. The next one is Within These Walls by Annie Allenburn. Believe me, I can't speak. We all know this at this point. So this one is another cult book that let me down. I am not happy, because I got this book because I heard it was a cult book. I heard this author was really good. And because of one review that I read, there was one particular review that I read that made me buy this book instantly. As soon as I read this review, I was like, you got my money. And that was, some person literally wrote that this book was like The Following, the show The Following, times 10. The Following is probably one of my favorite shows ever. I love it. It's about a cult leader that has his people, like in his followers, do bad things. And it's so twisty and turny. Believe me, if you like cult stuff, watch that show. This book was kind of like The Following in the sense that yes, there was a cult leader. Yes, his following has done kind of bad things, but it went into a direction that I didn't very much care for. And I kept hoping that they were going to do a switcheroo. I really was hoping. I was like, okay, it's looking like this. Maybe they'll turn around and be like, psych, it's not this. It's just, we just wanted you to believe that maybe this is where it was going. And it went into that direction. And I'm so upset. And I want to say what it is, but I know that if I do, it'll give it away. So I'm not going to say what it is. But if you've ever read it or going to read it, you'll know exactly what I mean. It goes into an area that I personally don't care for my thriller books to go into. Horror is fine. You know what? Horror, whatever. But like thriller, I don't care for my thriller books to go in this direction. And this is what it did. And because of that, I personally just did not like this book. I gave it a 3 because I think it was good in the sense of the writing was good. I was super interested. It was just the minute I realized that this is for real, where it was going, I was like, you lost me. You lost me. I'm sorry. If I would have known that this is what was going to happen, I wouldn't have even bothered getting this book. But that damn person that reviewed it said it was like The Following, and he got me out, or he, she, whoever the hell it was. I'm so mad because I'm just like, I get why you say it, but also no, you put me down false hopes. I was so excited. I really read that and just clocked my money right then and there. And it's like, I want my money back. Okay, the next one is Credence by Penelope Douglas. This one I did a whole video too about this. And this book was good. It's not as good as her Birthday Girl. That one, I freaking love that one. This one was a girl that goes to stay with her dad's stepbrothers, so her uncle, basically, not by blood, I'm saying this for a reason, and then her 2 cousins that are also not by blood. And this is not a spoiler, she gets with all of them, and then you figure out which one she actually stays with. That's pretty much the gist of the book. And this book is supposedly so taboo. I don't believe it's that bad. It's actually not even that steamy, other than like about 3 scenes are kind of steamy. Other than that, it's fine. So if you're a little squeamish, don't be. It's not that bad. It's actually kind of cute. Kind of. I wouldn't, like I said, it's not as good as Birthday Girl. Birthday Girl, I was so in love with the 2 characters. This one was more of a, I didn't really care who she ended up with, I guess you could say. Like, I'm not mad who she ends up with, but I kind of didn't care either way. She could have ended up with all of them, any of them, all of them, and it would have been fine. And then the next 2 books are by Fiona Cole, which are Liar and Teacher. I also talked about this in my steamy erotica section that I did for Valentine's. And Liar is about a guy that gets with his partner's niece, and he didn't know that it was the niece until like after they already did it. And then they end up kind of working together on a school project that she has, and then they keep boning. But of course they keep it somewhat under wraps because, like, of course they don't want the uncle / business partner to know. And of course eventually he does find out. That's always what happens. And yeah, it was actually cute. I like this one way better than the teacher. I didn't care for the teacher all that much. It was okay, but it was basically the uncle that we were talking about with the last book, The Liar, that is the business partner. He gets with a girl, and she apparently was trafficked at a young age, and of course she was saved. But because she was trafficked at a young age, she has a problem with being touched. And it's like, I'm never going to be able to have sex because I can't deal with somebody touching me. And this guy kind of like helps her. Like he's there for like emotional support. Like he doesn't pity her. Like she's like, oh, he doesn't, like, I don't see pity in his eyes. He just like deals with it. Like he doesn't ask questions. Like when she freaks out, that's her. And she kind of appreciates that, and then uses him as like her kind of like guinea pig of like, let's see how much I can be touched and stuff like that. And like I said, it was cute, but like, I don't know, I just didn't really care about that story. It was more of a like a throwaway romance in the sense of like, it's Valentine's, something cute, now move up. I listened to Breaking Free by Rachel Jeffs, and this one is a memoir about a polygamy cult, which is the daughter of Warren Jeffs, which is one of the worst polygamous cults leaders that we know of. And he went to jail. Oh, say hi to Emery. He went to jail. I don't know if he's still alive. I'm assuming he's still alive. I don't know. I don't really fucking care. But his daughter, which is absolutely horrible. She actually reads the book because I listened to it on audio. And basically she talks about how he is a big old hypocrite. Like literally he was molesting her as a kid. But then of course it was like, you know, constantly this whole, you gotta be pure, but I can molest you. And like she tried to tell her mothers. Nobody really believed her, or if they did, they were just like, well, you know, just don't give him reason, blah, blah, blah. And then like being the daughter, like it was weird because it's like he was so mean to like his own kids and like wives and everything. Like even in prison, he was making orders. So like he was in prison, and he told the leaders to be like, well, she can't be with her kids and she needs to live by herself and repent. Like literally she got put into this like little shack with no kids, and she wasn't allowed to be talked to and everything. And it was like, this man is crazy. Like he was just making up shit as he goes. He was just like, yeah, this day this person's gonna do this, and then this day this person's gonna do this, and then like we're gonna rip the kids out of these people's hands, and then they're gonna repent until I decide that they're good and holy again. It was crazy. I can't imagine being in that life. And the thing is, it's like, even if you know that it's wrong, what are you gonna do? You have no education, you have no money. They're ripping your kids out because, I mean, you have how many kids? And of course you don't want to leave them, but they're ripping your kids out of your hands, so you're trying to play nice so you can get them back. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. And that dude was such a fucking pervert. Like he was doing, like he never penetrated her, which is not like that's any better, but like he never penetrated her, but he would like make her touch him. Like literally they went and like he had to go pee in the woods and was like, hey, come here, Rachel, come here. I got flies on my dick. Swipe them off. And she's like, you don't have anything there. No, they're there. Swipe them off. And literally made her do this to his wee-wee. I'm like, that is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe people in this world do this shit to their kids, but then try to act like they didn't do anything. Like, no, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Like why would I do anything? And she kind of dealt with it after a while, because she was like, I don't want him to go to my other sisters, because I guess he was abusing some of them, but some of them he was leaving alone. So she was kind of trying to deal with it too, so this way he wouldn't go for like the younger ones and stuff like that, which is like very nice of her. But so horrible. And then the last things that I have consumed, this is why I'm not consuming anything else, because I gotta finish these books, is after reading Within the Walls, because that's the last one I did, after reading that one, I was kind of in a slump, because like I said, it turned out not to be really what I wanted, and I didn't want to commit to anything else that may not be the greatest, because a lot of these books on this list weren't really good. I didn't even really give you my ratings. But anyways, the only book that I truly liked in this whole thing was the Rachel Jeffs one. That was good, just because I love hearing about this stuff. It's sad, but I love like hearing and learning about this stuff. And then the Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then the Credence. Other than that, everything else was either like a 2 or a 3. And after, like I said, Within These Walls, I didn't want to be disappointed anymore the rest of the month. So I decided to reread all the Harry Potter books. And I'm on the 6th one, and then I'll be finishing the 7th one pretty much probably by the end of this month, if not like beginning of next month. So yeah, I just was like, I need something that I know I will like, and I haven't consumed in a long time. I haven't consumed Harry Potter in a long time. I can't imagine when's the last time I actually read it. So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna just read these, because I was like, I can't have another kind of disappointing one that I was like, I'm gonna take a break. And I only decided to read like the first one, and then I just really got into it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna finish it. So like I said, I'm almost done with the 6th one. I'll be moving on to the 7th one right afterwards. And then I'll pick back up on like some new stuff, because there are new stuff that I want to like read and that have come out, but it's just like, I get what people say about like, was it reading slumps, because it's like once you get disappointed after a while, you're just like, I really don't want to start something and not like it. So anyways, so this is my little wrap up. It wasn't a lot, but hopefully next month will be better, and I have a whole list of like things that I want to get to, so I'll probably be making that video next, and then some anticipated stuff, because there's a lot of anticipated books that I want to get to this year and that are coming out, so I'll probably do that one also. Anyways, hope you have a good day. I'm gonna go get my nails done, and then I gotta go to work because we're having a sale at work, so they asked me to come in, so it's overtime for me. Anyways, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video. I went on a little tangent. That's just me, but hope you have a good day. Tschüss.